a nigga hit the lottery, so when you going up, how can you plummet? Damn, you stun it. On the land, when you expand the grands, they understand who run it. In the jam, you brung it. Coming from all the fans, the Kansas City man do.
Hey you guys, it's me Basie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with an Ask Basie. Y'all, I know I haven't been keeping up with my video content coming out like it needs to. I do apologize, but y'all, I've been busy and this isn't my full-time job and I'm a mother and I got responsibilities, but I couldn't leave y'all hanging too much longer. And plus I have so many emails backed up from like 2 months ago. Yeah, that's bad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I am gonna respond to some of these through email, so all of them won't be in the video just because I have so many and some are so long. So I'm gonna try to shorten them down with some of the shorter emails. But I am gonna give you advice. You don't have to take it. And any of you guys watching, if you want to give advice, please just try to be as respectful as you can. And we gonna go ahead and get into this. If you're wondering what's on my lips, I dropped it when I was, oh, here it is. It's Almay Color Plus Care Liquid Lip Balm number 400 Lilac Love. So that's what's on my lips. I just wanted something simple, you know, nothing extra. Hopefully y'all can still see it. But yeah, that's what's on my lips. So let's get started. First one says, hey girl, would just like to say your personality is absolutely fabulous and I'm so glad you're on YouTube to share it with the world. I'll have to give you some backstory for you to understand my problem. First of all, family means absolutely the world to me. And just like any other family, we've been through a lot and done a lot for each other. I live in a village in Wales, the UK, okay, and I'm lucky to have my immediate family living close to me. However, I've suffered from depression since I was sexually assaulted when I was 13. I'm now 20. And though I've come a long way since then, it's definitely affected my confidence and self-worth. Since then, I've had a blurred vision of how sex should be and emotionally how it should feel, and I carried that into my career choices. I'm a qualified beautician and complementary therapist, but after qualifying, I realized I really didn't believe I was even good enough to apply for jobs in the field, nor did I have the confidence. So last year I thought I realized that the one thing I was good for, and that was sex. I started escorting in London every weekend. Oh, wow. And I'm still doing it a year later, but deep down it does not make me happy. I thought I was getting the best of both worlds, being able to be involved with lots of men to boost my self-esteem, along as get an income. But it just confirms to me that my body is actually the only thing people want from me. My family is going through a very stressful time financially and emotionally. They need my support now more than ever. The issues we're facing now are going to affect at least the next year, so I have to make my decision now. Do I carry on escorting, be able to support them financially and partially emotionally? Suffering with depression is hard to support when I'm broken myself. Or do I stop escorting, stay home, feel better about myself long term and be stronger for them, but not be able to give them the financial support they really do need? P.S. They know I do escorting, but I only show them the empowering side of what I do, not the way I truly feel about it. I guess I'm good at putting on a front. I'm so sorry for the length of this, and if any of this has made you uncomfortable, I would love to have some unbiased advice on what I should do right now. Keep shining, babe. Aww. Okay, so first things first, I want to say to you, you don't have to sell your body for sex to feel like that's the only way you'll get love. That's the only way you feel that you'll get a man or anything like that. I understand you said you suffered depression and you were assaulted sexually when you were 13. And I know depression is a real serious thing. Some people have it really severely bad. Some people don't. And you doing the escorting is not helping your case. I understand you said, you know, it's a way for you to take care of your family. They are aware of that. It's good you let them know. At the same time, though, if it's not helping your self-esteem, if it's not making anything better in your life besides just giving you the money, I would stop doing it. You were a licensed beautician and things like that. You lacked confidence doing that thing, but if that's what you're good at, your confidence will slowly start to build, and you can make the money to take care of your family. You don't have to sell your body to feel like you're important. And I understand, you know, those businesses doing that, you can make good money, but at the end of the day, is it worth your happiness? No. I understand, you know, you have to think about your family, helping them financially, but there's a lot of other things that you can do financially that doesn't involve you having to sell yourself for sex. So I mean, you need to try to really look into some avenues of getting maybe some therapy to help you through what you're going through, and from there hopefully you can make progress and get that confidence that you need to go back to doing what you're good at, doing the hair and everything like that, or find a different avenue of something that makes you happy that isn't too much, I should say. But it also can give you a good amount of income to take care of yourself as well as your family. And it is good that you're, you know, around to be able to help your family and they support you in what you're doing. But at the same time, if it's not what you want to do, you need to just remove yourself from that. Think about yourself first. Get yourself together. Get a handle on your depression. Talk to people. You know, join some groups. Anything like that. But you need to get that in order first. That way you can get out of that situation. You don't want to continue to have to do something that's really not making you happy. So good luck, sweetie, and I hope you figure it out. Okay, this next one is really short. It says, hey Basie, I really love your videos. Much love to the fam, but I really need your advice. I used to date this side with both 16s at the time, but we stopped talking for a while. Then one day out the blue, he came to my job. The feelings I had came back. Now they coming back. I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to tell him I love him. What should I do? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh. And I know y'all probably think it's just funny, like how you can tell some of these are young kids. And if they not, it's like, okay, what you talking about? So she used to date this side, I guess a side piece, I don't know. They were both 16 at the time. They stopped talking for a while. One day he came into her job. Her feelings just rushed back. Now she doesn't know what to do. Should I tell him I'm in love with him? What should I do? I mean, sweetie, do you really love him that fast? I mean, if you do, okay, just tell him and see what his reaction is. You just saw him, he came in your job, and did y'all have a conversation? What made your feelings rush back? Why did you guys stop talking in the first place? Was it something he did? Was it something you did? Were you, I mean, what, I need more information, but that's your choice. If you want to tell him you love him after seeing him coming into your job, that's all I really have to say, sweetie. Next one says, hey Basie, my name is Kiera. Oh. This next one says, okay, this next one says, hey Basie, I'm 18-year-old senior in high school. Since July of last year, I have been talking to and somewhat dating this guy who I'll name Tyler. Tyler and I were introduced through my cousin, who is his mom's best friend. I fell for him hard and quickly. He met my family and vice versa, and everyone seemed to think we made a good match. He lived 30 minutes away, but that didn't stop the show. Since it was summer, we would spend so much quality time together whenever he wasn't busy and I wasn't working. This eventually led him to taking my virginity and us developing a sexual relationship. Everything was going great until school started. Since we live in 2 different towns, I understood that we couldn't be together 24/7, but I still wanted weekends with him, since at the time we were not both working due to school schedules. Whenever the weekend would roll around, he constantly had excuses as to why we couldn't spend time together. I brushed it off as him being busy and continued on with the flow. I then decided that it was best for us not to be in a relationship and just to be friends. Despite this agreement, he insisted that we continue to speak every day and have sex. He claims that we're just exclusive sex partners and even gets jealous of me speaking to other guys. I've tried several times to break off the friends with benefits agreement and get back to having a relationship, but he always rejects it. Fast forward months later, nothing has changed, and I'm so confused and lost because it seems as if he's only interested in me when sex is involved. We don't spend time together, but he still texts me 24/7 and gets jealous whenever the topic of me dating other people comes up. I've threatened several times to leave him alone, and this is the only time he genuinely seems to care. Unfortunately, I do love him. I do want to be with him, but his antics, distance, and time are not together, and I refuse to be an option instead of a priority. Not to mention, he plans on attending college in totally different state this fall. It seems as if he's only keeping me around because he knows I'll put up with his garbage. I'm sick of this BS because at this point the situation is hurting me more than it's helping me. I would appreciate your help. Thank you. Well, sweetie, you're sick of it, and you have a right to be. If he's just using you for the sex and really didn't want a relationship, and you know this, then you know you should leave him alone. Don't mess with him. It's not worth your time. He's clearly telling you that he just wants to have sex with you, but at the same time he's playing the mind games because he only wants you to himself and doesn't want you to look elsewhere for someone else. That's not fair to you. Plus, you don't want to have to be dibbling and dabbling between different people, and you've tried to cut it off. He doesn't want to cut it off. You want a relationship. He doesn't. So you clearly know it's not going to work. So you might as well cut it now before he goes away to school. That way it's not as hard on you. Voice going in and out. That way it's not as hard on you. So yeah, you just need to leave that situation alone altogether. And you can, I'm sure you will find someone in due time when the time is right, and that will only want to be with you, and not just for sex, for the person that you actually are and your personality and everything like that. So good luck, sweetie. This next one says, hello Basie. This past month being a mother has been hard for me. I have 2 kids by 2 different men. The second one, we were supposed to be working on us and our future with baby steps and ended up getting married. I found out that there would be no future for us when he said he was getting married out of the blue. After I said I was not letting him see my child due to his drug and alcohol abuse, now he has blocked me, or the new chick has, according to him. The new chick wants to control everything. I advised her that I don't have to talk to her about my child, who is under 5, but I do need to communicate with my child's father for the sake of my child. But I am still blocked. I feel like this new chick needs to communicate with him about how she feels about things and not me. Now he can tell me what he wants done, or we can come to a compromise, but she hasn't. He is also not supporting the child financially. I have not had to go through this with the first one, but the second one, I feel I'm going through the ringer just to communicate. Please advise me on what to do with the second one. Also, do you think this new chick is overstepping, especially when it comes to child support and visitation? Yes, she is. She needs to sit her behind down, let you deal with the father of your child to make sure your child's needs are met. She must not be secure in her relationship because she must think that he's going to fall back for you, or whatever the case is. Your child is you guys' priority. he needs to keep her in check and let her know she's going too far. That shows what he's really about. Because if he is not putting her in her place, letting her know, no, this is my child's mother. I need to communicate with her. I need to make sure my child is okay. This is a young child. Even if it wasn't, this is the mother of your child. You need to communicate. You need to let her know that she needs to sit down on this. She isn't running things. Also, it sounds like he's not really wanting to be involved with the child if he's letting this happen. He should unblock you, which I think he probably did and she didn't. But what you might now have to do, if it's really getting that bad, and if you really want him to step up and do what he's supposed to do, some people don't agree, but if you're wanting this and if you don't need him around, which I feel like all kids need to have their father in their life, as long as the father is a good example. You said he has like drinking issues and drug abuse issues. So I don't know if you really want your child to be even exposed to something like that. But you might have to get the courts involved if you really feel like, okay, maybe he's changed and you need him to step up and be the father that you need him to be. Maybe if you scare him with that, maybe it'll be like, okay, he'll understand, okay, before this goes too far, let me stop, do what I need to do, push new chick on the back burner, and make sure my child is straight. But that's the only thing I can really tell you about that. Okay, this next one says, I've been a fan of your channel for the longest and it's great seeing your fan base grow. Well, let me jump into my story. I recently got engaged to a man I have been with for 5+ years, and we also have a child together. Due to recent career change, he has moved to another state to work. Our wedding has been set for late 2018. Well, a man from my past, we'll call him Everett, has recently came back into my life. Everett and I never ended on bad terms, but the timing was never right for us to be in a solid, long-standing relationship. Since my fiance has been away, Everett and I have made several trips to see each other and hang out. During all these trips, my child was always away visiting her grandparents. Of course, during each visit, Everett and I would engage in sexual activities. I forgot how amazing this man's sex was after so long, and I'm starting to find that my feelings for him are returning. Now, don't that always happen, huh? He also has been telling me he loves me and that his love for me will never fade, but Everett is interested in being in a polygamous relationship at this point in his life. Recently, during a talk Everett and I had, we decided that as long as protection was used, it would be fine if he saw other people sexually. Well, shortly after this conversation, he did have sexual relations with another woman. My emotions got the best of me, and out of jealousy and spite, I started to flirt with one of my coworkers who had been showing interest in me for months. Wait a minute. Okay. This coworker, we'll call him Joey, and I eventually ended up having sex after about a month and a half of flirting back and forth. But Joey is married. Recently, Joey has expressed that he has been catching feelings for me as well. Now I feel confused and afraid of this web that I have spun myself in, because Everett doesn't know about Joey but knows of my fiance. Joey knows of my fiance but not of Everett. I don't want to get Joey caught up with his wife, and my fiance knows nothing. I do not want to lose my fiance, because even though I have feelings for Everett and I care for Joey as a friend, I am madly in love with my fiance, but quenching my sexual thirst while he is away with these other men. I'm sorry. Please help, Basie. How do I get myself out of this mess and focus all of my attention back on my family? Girl, what are you doing? You have a fiance. Your fiance was away, so you decided to reconnect with an old thing that had good sex. No. He sucked you back in that web. Then because he wants to be polygamous, you decide to go have sex with the co-worker. Now the co-worker wants, girl, what are you giving your goods away for to everybody if you engaged? If you in this loving relationship, if you love your fiance so much like you say you do, but you giving your goodies to everybody else. No. I don't know. Like, if you don't want your family to be torn apart and have your husband or your fiance and your daughter as one big family, you need to stop what you're doing and break it off. Leave Everett, leave Joey, and you need to come clean to your fiance, because you do not need to go into this marriage with all your stuff that you got going on, and it's his decision if he wants to stay or if he wants to leave. Now, I don't think he's gonna stay, but you never know. Some men can take that. The men I know, I don't know if they can take that. So, but you got to stop what you're doing. Unless you have an addiction to sex, you might need to go see somebody for some help, or start just masturbating yourself. I know that sounds bad, but you can't be, you're in a relationship, you're engaged to be someone's wife this year, but you're sleeping with other people, and then you messing with another married man, interrupting his household. Yes, he's wrong, but you are wrong too for engaging in that. Like, girl, you gotta stop, baby. Now listen, get it together. This next one says, hey Basie, first I'd like to say I love your story times, especially the Bob ones, and I have been binge watching your vlogs. I need some help. I've been struggling on and off with finding someone. Right now I'm trying to avoid relationships because they just lead to bad things, and I enjoy my independence and not being controlled. It seems like a lot of people are in relationships just to say they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or people are forced to be something that they are not to get someone to like them. I had nothing but bad experience with guys. I had a really bad experience a year ago, and ever since then it has been over for me. Long story short, he said I was his girlfriend. He wanted to have kids, grow old together, get married, and I said I love you, even though we were only acquaintances and only had been on one date, and he had a girlfriend the entire time. I keep being given bad advice on how to handle this situation, because some days I'm happy and then other days I'm down, because I've been told I'm not going to get married or no one's going to want me, mostly because I'm Christian and a lot of people don't agree with what I think is right or wrong. I want to wait till marriage, but guys say that they would never marry someone they have never had sex with. That's not true. I sometimes cry myself to sleep thinking about how after I graduate college, I'll be living in a house all by myself with no husband. It's not that I need someone to be happy or that I'm looking for love in the wrong places. I've just been waiting a long time, and my time to shine hasn't come. I also see pictures of people with their engagement rings getting married, or people in long-term relationships. I don't know what else to do. It's like my love for kids, to help people, and my personality doesn't matter because it's not important. Please help. I'm 20 years old and I've never been in a relationship. Baby, you are 20 years old. You have all the time in the world. You do not have to rush and be in a relationship right now. Girl, you just got out of your teens. You have time. Focus on your career. You don't know what can happen 3 to 6 years from now. You could find the love of your life, starting your family, any of that. You're only 20 years old. Don't rush it. The guy that you were dealing with or thought you loved, that he was an acquaintance and all of that, push that stuff aside. Don't rush anything. Just because you see other people engaged in long-term relationships and stuff like that, that doesn't always mean anything. Half of the time that stuff be fake. They just do it just to be doing it. No, you will know when you find real love. Don't force something that doesn't have to happen right away. It's gonna happen for you, sweetheart. I can see if you was maybe, I don't even know, there's not even an age limit. Well, with the kids maybe, I don't know. You know, you can't be about 50 or 60, but there's no age limit on when you need to find a husband, when you need to find love. Like, baby, take your time to focus on yourself, and when it's time for you to be with someone, it's going to happen. Girl, get that house. Find a man that has his own. Y'all come together. You being Christian has nothing to do with you not being able to find a man. You will find a good man. You will find a Christian man. Just you need to make sure you look for them in the right places. Don't be looking for them maybe at the club or maybe someplace you don't need to be. It will happen in due time, sweetheart. So this one says, hey Basie, I'm 23 and just ended a 7-year relationship with my son's father. We were together since I was 17. I had our son 2 years into the relationship over the 7 years of being together. We would break up off and on throughout the years, but I always got back together. But this time is different. One day after we broke up, he was already in another relationship with one of his co-workers, but was telling me he was single. Him and the girl didn't work out. Now he's with another co-worker. Come to find out, he was talking to both of them while we were together. Since we have a son together, we still have to co-parent for our son, and he comes and gets him every weekend. But when he does come to get him, he wants to give me a hug or tells me he loves me and misses me. And when I go periods of time without speaking to him, he gets upset. Mother's Day recently passed and he got me a gift, and I found out he got the girl he's with the same as me. It seems as though he treats her better than he did me all of those years together, but that's from my perspective. I don't know. He tells me he wants us to be a family again, but every time I put any effort into fixing our relationship, or he puts any effort into fixing our relationship, either I push him away or he pushes me away. I still have hope one day we can fix our relationship and be a family again. But I don't know if he's in love with someone else. I don't know what to do. I don't want to force anyone to be with me. What should I do? The letter was so long. It's not so long, sweetie. It was just not enough commas and periods. So I was trying to read this the best that I could. What is it that was breaking you guys up all the time? 7 years, y'all broke up on and off, on and off. Who's to say it's going to be different? If he's dating these multiple women, I would just cut my losses. Because if you get back with him, who's to say he's going to break it off with those women? Yes, you have his child. That doesn't mean a thing at all. I would just try to move along. Not try to dwell on the past, the years that y'all spent together. I know it's hard and it's better said than done, but just move on, sister girl. It's not worth it. This one says, hey Basie, so here goes. I'm a 16-year-old mom. My son isn't born yet, but I'm feeling really overwhelmed with the whole mom thing. Now I know what you're thinking. Girl, you're 16, you need to focus on you, not sex. But I was raped by a 28-year-old man when I was 15, so I'm going to be a single mom. Guys look at me weird, but I don't talk about why I'm pregnant. A lot of people have told me to get an abortion, but I am so against abortions, and now I am almost 30 weeks pregnant. So it's too late even if I wanted to. What would you do in this situation? How would you get people to stop judging you? And also, by the way, I love your channel, and here's a picture of me. Oh, and if you're wondering, I have a lot of health issues. I ended up cutting my hair because I almost died. This is why my hair is so short, but thank you. Well, I am sorry that you did get raped. The result of that was a pregnancy. And people are going to always say something. You got raped. That's horrible. And in turn, a baby was conceived due to that rape. I've heard people say if you got raped, get rid of the baby. You don't want to have to look at your baby and have a reminder of being raped. What the person did to you is wrong, but that doesn't mean your child is a mistake. You know, I would say forget what people have to say. People are going to say something all their life about you, and always are going to have an opinion about you in your life. It didn't happen to them, it happened to you. If you want your baby, keep your baby. Yes, it happened due to a bad situation, but that baby is almost here now, and you just need to make sure you're the best mother you can be for your child. Don't let people get in your ear. As long as you're doing right by your baby, that's all that matters. I know it still probably is hard for you because of the situation, but just focus on your child, focus on you, your health, and forget what everybody else says, because at the end of the day, it's you and it's not them. And people, like I said, just always have opinions. Let them have it, okay? So you guys, those are all that I'm doing tonight. So I'm ready to get up out of this makeup or whatever. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, loves.